Jacob, Missouri. You're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Wilkow. Yeah, I don't understand why you're like trying to stand up for the gold standard after we got off it from the mid-40s to the mid-70s. We had 30 years of the best, some of the most sustained growth we've ever had.
And the most sustained debts and deficits.
So you don't think standard of livings went up between 45 and 75?
But you're ignoring the unseen, the debt and the deficit. The debt and the deficit, these things are not just existential boogeymen that I talk about for no good reason. You cannot live in perpetuity in debt and deficit, sir.
What do you feel like in those 30 years? So you think those 30 years?
But you're giving me hold on. You're giving me the Back to the Future timeline as if that's the only trajectory that would have provided us with the standard of living that we've come to enjoy.
No, I'm not saying that's the only trajectory. I'm saying it is a trajectory.
Well, how did we get to that point, sir? We didn't start with fiat currency. So how did we produce the Industrial Revolution before fiat currency?
We produced it because you can do it with gold standards, except the problem is that crashes are worse.
Well, how do you have a gold? Whoa. How does gold crash?
Because
gold can't be inflated. Gold can't be duplicated. Gold can't be. I mean, you can make fake gold coins, but when something is fixed, it can't crash.
That's the problem with gold. As the economy expands, you can't mine enough to keep up with the expanding economy. So what do you
mean? Define the expanding economy. You mean demand side economics?
No, I'm actually talking about the supply side. Although
what is constricting the growth of the economy if the money is fixed?
Okay, if money is fixed, right? I mean, that's really basic monetary theory. But if money is fixed, okay, and let's say I can produce 10 widgets, right? And then all of a sudden, through increases in productivity, I can produce 100 widgets, but there's no increase in the money supply. That creates a real distortion in the money supply.
No, sir. Believing that growth comes from the money supply is the distortion of the money supply. If you are right, pricing wouldn't go up because of inflation.
I don't understand what you meant there at all.
If you inflate the money supply, prices elevate. You're not expanding anything, but you're just increasing the costs of things. If that was the case, they should print $15 trillion and put it into the economy. If you're right, the Federal Reserve should put $15 trillion into the economy, and not just in businesses. Give every single person in America $1 million of fiat currency.
No, because...
Whoa. Why not? Why not? Think about what would happen when people started spending that money, sir.
Okay, here's the thing, is you're trying to take it to one extreme.
No, I'm not trying to take it to an extreme, sir. No, sir. You left out, again, the unseen. You said the expansion of the money supply met the demands of the growing economy. The economy would grow. You don't need to expand the money supply to meet the demands of the growing economy because prices stay low.
Lots of professional economists.
I don't care. No, sir, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what is taught in the academic bubble. I don't care what is proposed by the Keynesians.
For just a second, let's get outside the academic bubble and let's talk about what my grandmother and grandfather.
I don't want to talk about your grandparents. You tell me how you run your economy without a debt and deficit.
How I run my economy?
Tell me the difference in the debt and the deficit on the gold standard and then after fiat currency.
Yeah, you're telling me the United States never had a debt or deficit with the gold standard.
No, they had debt, but they had full faith and credit of the United States, but they didn't have explosive, arbitrary, structurally created by government debt and deficit.
Well, I'll have to go back and read my history.
Yeah, you should do that. That'd be a good idea. Why don't you do that and call me back? The idea that growth comes from the money supply, but he thinks if growth comes from the money supply, then just grow the money supply, which he then said, well, that's extreme. No, it's not. If the basis of your economic theory is that growth comes from the printing of paper, then just print more paper and get the growth. The fact is, The funny thing is that wages and prices stay low when you have fixed money because you can't inflate anything. When you inflate the currency, you get increased prices, which means the money is valued at less. Then when you run out of that, you start borrowing things. Things that don't generate any growth because you're inflating your currency even more. The idea that you should have professional economists. There are a lot of people that are called professional economists that if you left it up to them, would just look at the society as one big game to play. Well, we'll just move money here and print there and take this and take that. They've convinced themselves that if you've got here you go. I'll give it to the caller. If you've got 89 cents and a room full of professional economists need $1 to make it work, and they all just agree that 89 cents is now $1. Well, they're professional economists. It's still 89 cents. You can't just fabricate $1 out of 89 cents. Oh, we'll just take this quarter and put it in the Xerox machine. Still not a quarter.